pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The prayer today is, Heavenly Father, there's no storm that God won't carry you through, no bridge that God won't help you cross, no battle that God won't help you win. Trust God and never give up. Amen.
Good morning, Commissioners. On July 24th, I approved for the Building Department an unpaid personal leave of absence for Dan Spada, Director and Chief Building Official, for 40 hours during the period of July 28th, 2025 through August 1st, 2025. And that is all.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Adrian Gordon from the Commissioner's Office, reviewing today's financials. Among other things, there are appropriations transfer from the sheriff to their miscellaneous refunds, reimbursements, and web checks that were deposited into the general fund. There's a cash transfer from the general fund to community development for their second quarter 2025 payroll funding, reimbursement, and third quarter operational commitment for 2025. Among the encumbrances are travel encumbrances from Job and Family Services to attend the relocating of a child in custody and to attend the 2025 Ohio Public Children's Services Agency's annual conference. Among the vouchers are $1.5 million from the Auditor's Office to Shook Construction Company for ARPA's share of the progress on the McFarland Wastewater Treatment Plant Improvements Project, $14,000 from the Commissioners to Lake Tran for a grant payment that was erroneously sent to Geauga County and was deposited into the general fund, $98,859.65 from Community Development to Lindsay Construction and Design Incorporated for CDBG grant funding for the Maple Leaf Residences roof and window replacement project. And finally, a revenue certification from Water Resources in their Water Resources Fund for additional penalties, refunds, and reimbursements, revenue not originally budgeted for 2025.
I move to approve the financials.
Okay. Commissioner Spudler. Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Item number 3, we have Sandra Williams here. Just state your name and what department you're from.
My name is Sandra Williams. I am here representing Charter Communications doing business as Spectrum. Right. Good morning, President Dvorak, Vice President Brakey, and Commissioner Spitarelli. Got it.
There you go.
My name is Sandra Williams. I am the Director of Government Affairs for Charter Communications doing business as Spectrum. I am present before you today to discuss the grant that Spectrum received from Broadband Ohio for the Ohio Residential Broadband Expansion Grant Program, better known as ORBEG, and this is round 2. The ORBEG grant program is a competitive grant designed to fund last-mile broadband infrastructure projects in areas currently lacking access to reliable, high-speed internet. The total funding for ORBEG Round 2 was $94.5 million. This program is designed to provide internet service with speeds of at least 100 by 100 megapixels to households upon project completion. Spectrum received an award to provide internet service in Geauga County for Burton Township, Huntsburg Township, Middlefield Township, Newberry Township, Parkman Township, and Troy Township. I also want to thank you all for your letter of support. There are 1,070 locations that will be passed and 65.3 fiber miles. The estimated field cost is approximately $3.6 million. Spectrum will also be contributing financially to this project. There is a list of Geauga County addresses as a part of the grant listed on the Broadband Ohio website. I did email you all a copy of the addresses, and I have copies here today if you would like that information. Our walkout and design is currently in progress, and this project must be completed by December of 2026. That concludes my testimony, and I'm happy to answer any questions the commission may have.
So Sandra, it looks like most of the addresses are located in Middlefield. And I guess I'm just wondering to what extent some of these addresses may be Amish homes, or are we filtering that out?
Mr. President, Commissioner, we do not filter out Amish addresses. We have a case going on right now in another county where the state of Ohio provided a grant to a county, and they included the Amish addresses. And we go to those doors and we ask the individuals if they would like to receive service, and if they don't want to receive service,
Okay.
what we do is we try to connect them to the closest pole. We may not be able to run service to their home, but what we do is we get to the closest location possible, so that if ever that family moves out of that home and another family wants it, we will have done our best to get as close as possible, so that that family won't have to bear all of the cost for running the fiber.
Okay, I understand that. That seems logical. I mean, I guess I was just making sure money wasn't being dumped to give broadband to homes that have no desire to have it.
Yes, we do our best, and if that fiber is not run, then that cost is not put upon the state of Ohio.
Okay.
We have to give them quarterly reports as to what our progress is, and we also provide information for families who do not want us on their property.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the townships and the addresses that you provided,
Yes.
when I was township trustee in Burton, there was always a weakness for broadband use, and the company was Suddenlink, was the older company. Now, did you guys buy them out, or are you going to use their fiber? Or are you going to have all your equipment coming in there new?
I've been with Spectrum, Mr. President, for 3 years now, and to my knowledge, we have not since then purchased Suddenlink. I will also say that Spectrum never uses any other company's fiber. We run our own fiber. All of these projects will be complete fiber instead of hybrid fiber coax. So we will be running everything brand new.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you all. We will continue to keep you updated. As I said, I represent Spectrum in Geauga County. If you have any questions about this project or anything else, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in. Airport.
Hey, Rick. Good morning.
Good morning.
Richard Blamer, Airport Manager. Couple of things before you today. The Airport Authority is requesting the board release the bid performance bond for Hoare Construction Company for the Hangar 1 improvement project, as all specifications have been satisfied at this time.
I move to approve.
Second. Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
The Airport Authority is requesting the board approve reimbursement request number 2 for the taxiway extension project, specifically the construction of parallel taxiway Alpha, including taxiway connector Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, construction, final phase, and install taxiway edge lights construction, grant number 3-39-0054-028-2024, in the amount of $488,831.91. The FAA share is $439,948.72, and ODOT share is $24,441.60, and the local match share is $24,441.59.
I move to approve.
Second. Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
And that project is pretty much on time at this point. We are going to have a runway closure coming up starting sometime next week.
What's the estimated completion date?
September 19th. The official close of construction is the 19th. The project completion is going to be in October. There's a 30-day cure period.
Sure.
Before which time they can paint the lines on it.
What's the status with that grant, the paperwork that was sent over for the other funding that we had for the hangar project?
I received that on the 18th. I emailed it over to Christy at that point, and then on Monday I brought over the official hard copy paperwork.
Okay.
We're waiting on,
Because there's a time limit on that also, as far as when that's gotta get signed.
their deadline is the 18th. However, our next board meeting where we need to approve the contract with the contractor is August 4th. So we were hoping that it would get done today, which is why I had it in time for this meeting, but for some reason it got stalled out.
I can elaborate. So the paperwork has not been reviewed by our APA, and it's currently with her. Initially, I had pushed this item since I just learned of it yesterday. I had initially pushed it to the 12th and then reached out to our APA today to ask for a compromise of putting it on the agenda for the 5th. So that's the best I could do, having just received it yesterday.
So you think it'll be on for next week then?
I think so. We're just waiting a response from our APA to confirm that she can review it for us in that amount of time.
I mean, the grant paperwork is like 50-something.
It is.
So it's not a small lift for the APA.
Yes, Commissioner.
Just to add to, when the FAA sent it to me, Rick, I did print it and scan it and sent it to her as soon as I got it,
Mhm.
in anticipation of you sending the documents. And when I asked the question yesterday about the language in the resolution, she emailed me back and said, I have not gotten through all of this yet. And so we kind of were going back and forth on that part of it. And she just wants to be very clear that all of the commissioners and Amy have read the grant agreement and understand the terms that are within it.
Yeah, I mean, when did we get it? With Thursday, the commissioners? I mean, that's not enough time for.
I got
us.
it, as soon as I sent it from Rick, I got it to
Yeah.
you guys as soon as I could get to the session being moved to Wednesday. It was delayed to get it to you to Thursday.
Yeah, so that's a lot of paperwork to go through in the weekend.
And 3 weeks ago, I received a phone call from Dave Joyce's office saying that we received the $585,000.
Mhm.
It's on its way, and so that was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're just trying to get the contract with the contractor signed so we can actually start on this project. We had hoped to have broken ground last spring, but because of all the other delays and things like that with the project, we're going to be pushing it to get it done this year.
Well, we'll do everything we can to keep this going.
We would appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And then second quarter report, just a couple highlights. In the report that I sent you, I hadn't received the notice of the grant yet, but that came like the day after I sent this. Everything else seems to be moving well. The taxiway project at the time of the writing was 33% complete for phase 1. There are 2 phases to this final thing. Phase 1 is the main part of the taxiway from the hangars down to the east end of the airport, and then phase 2 is from that point to the new connectors. Both will require a 10-day closure of the runway, which we won't be able to do many operations at that point. However, we do have an unofficial grass runway that some people intend to continue to use, which is very helpful. We're still waiting for the closeout of the Ford project grant. That was the purchase of land and then the consolidation of the airport property into a couple of parcels, one in the village, one in the township. We're just waiting on the FAA on that, and that hopefully we'll get that in the next week or 2. So I'll have a request for the final reimbursement from that. Actually, there is no reimbursement from that one because that was 100% FAA funding. So, but we'll present that anyways to you guys. June 21st, we did have a pancake breakfast and a Young Eagles event. We flew 96 kids, all by volunteer pilots who volunteered their time and talent and treasures to fly these kids on 41 different flights. We had about 400 people serve pancake breakfast. It was a beautiful weather day. We had some really cool airplanes fly in, and over 70 volunteers helping with that project. Was excellent. Also on the report, I listed operations for our 3 biggest users of the airport, PHI, University Hospitals, the Cleveland Soaring Society, and then the flight training that's performed.
So what are those numbers? I just seen
That's
numbers.
just takeoffs and landings.
Okay, so that's total takeoffs and landings?
Yes.
Okay.
During that 3-month period.
Okay.
And then the ones that aren't included in there are all the operations that individuals do. They don't report their operations. These are the 3 organizations that actually kind of keep track of how many takeoffs and landings they do during a period. Then on the P&L, I did some additional calculations. Because there was that extraordinary amount from the grant that you gave us, and then there were some expenditures for grants, which I backed out. So actual revenue for the period without the grants was about $102,382.28. Our expenses after we removed the grant expenditures were $92,768.07. That gave a excess revenue of $9,614.21. So we're doing well. We're still 100% occupied. I did have a tenant sell his airplane, and he bought another one, and that second airplane left. And the first phone call, I didn't even get the offer out, and they said, we'll take it. So our wait list is expanded to 37 now. I did remove several people from that that said that they were no longer interested because they found other accommodations. But it still just keeps growing. So the need for hangars is immense. Any questions?
You had was it a 6th grade youth aviation program?
Oh, thanks for coming out to that, by the way. Yeah, we had our youth aviation camp in early July. That was going to be on my next quarter report.
Oh.
We had 18 kids come out. We for the week, we had, I think there were 36 or 38 volunteers that were helping with these kids learn all about aviation. We had a number of sessions during the day where there'd be a ground school. They'd tear apart engines, put them back together, and do science experiments, learning things about Bernoulli's law, Newton's laws, and things like that. Then in the afternoon, we do flight simulators and career talks and additional hands-on building type projects to teach them how airplanes go together and things like that. And then a career speaker at the end of the day. So it was a very immersive experience for these kids. We also had 3 alumni of the camp that were helping us out with the kids too. So good time was had by all, and a lot was learned. And one of the helpers, she was in our first camp and was very timid to even go on an airplane. We paired her up with one of our better pilots. He's a naval aviator. And when she came back, the look on her face was just ecstatic. She's now in the professional pilot program at Kent State and is going to become a professional pilot. So it's just to see things like that, the changes that take place in these kids is really satisfying.
Thank you.
Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jim Geauga with the engineer's office. I just have 2 items. They're related to one another this morning. County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and allocation of municipal road funds in the amount of $300,000 for the state route resurfacing in Chardon, State Routes 44 and 6 project sponsored by the City of Chardon. This project is under construction, but it's scheduled for construction in 2025.
Shane, can you tell me about the municipal roads fund? What is this fund? Where does the money come from? How does it get distributed?
It's fuel tax generated funds. The engineer's office helps administer the funds, but they're not for our use. They're for use within a municipal boundary, City of Chardon, Burton Village, Middlefield Village, etc.
Okay.
And the dollars are held in escrow, if you will, and then are applied for by each of those municipalities through an application process. And if they meet all the criteria of the application, then we come here to request those funds be released.
Okay, so any of the municipalities can apply for those
Yes.
if they have a applicable project. Is
Yes,
that
and I think
correct?
there are a couple other pending applications if I'm correct, Middlefield has one, and Hunting Valley, a portion of Hunting Valley is in,
Right, it's in
yeah,
Geauga.
in Geauga, and they're doing the Fairmount Road project this year.
Okay, very good. I'll make a motion to approve item number 7.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWolf.
Yes.
Thank you. And then item number 8, Engineers Office is requesting the board certify to the county auditor the use of the $300,000 of the municipal road fund for state route resurfacing of State Route 44 and 6 in the city of Chardon pursuant ORC 4504.04.
I move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWolf.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good morning.
I'm Joanna Santilli, the Director of Geauga Transit, and this is Ben Capel, the CEO of Lake Tran.
Morning.
So we're here for two things. One is a letter of support for a joint application for the Ohio Workforce Mobility Partnership. It's a grant that we would like to apply for that would benefit both of us, but for in the Geauga County area, it would help with cross communication. We're trying to get the cross county the transportation easier. At this point, they have to call us. They set up a ride and take it to Tri Point, then they call Lake Tran and set it up. So we're trying to get it so that they can make one phone call and actually provide the transportation all the way instead of having to make 2 different reservations for one trip. And it's geared towards the workforce. We like to bring people into the county to work to help the employers here.
Okay, so tell me what the grant is. So this is a grant that would help transport the workforce.
Correct, it's money so that we could update the software so that we can make one phone call instead of having 2.
Okay.
And then the money to actually pay for us to be able to transport across the county line to give us some funds to actually do that.
Okay, so then the change that needs to happen is a software change with your phone systems, or what's?
Well,
How would this happen?
software and then training. So my
Okay.
dispatchers would need to know Lake County, and Lake County would need to know Geauga County. So if they're calling one or the other, that we could
I
actually,
understand.
they could do both instead of just trying to do just one. And then
Okay,
tell
so it's a
them
way
the
to
other.
integrate both of your systems.
Correct.
Okay.
There is some additional service so that it does, we didn't want to negatively impact the existing services being provided. So there
Right.
is some funds for some extra drivers so that we can provide a little bit more service between the two also.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. It seems like most of the people that live in Geauga County don't work in Geauga County, and most of the people that work in, vice versa. So this seems like it could be a helpful thing for our local employers to bring in employees into the county.
And how much is this grant for?
We are still finalizing the total number. We're going to be asking for, it's over a 3-year period, but we're asking for, I think, 1.2 million total. So we divide it up into 400,000 a year, roughly. But you never know. You ask for something and you never know what you get back. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sounds good.
And then the letter incorporates my red line. Is that right, Chrissy? Okay, great. So I'll make a motion to approve item number 9.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWolf.
Yes.
Thank you. And, number 10, we're requesting the board approve in accordance with the lease agreement, maintenance, improvement to the driveway. So we're not actually changing anything that's there. The asphalt that's already there, that's in the back of the building, has a bunch of potholes and is really bad. It needs to be dug up and redone. And then the access drives in the parking lot on the front just need resurfacing. So there's enough money to actually, so it's just the asphalt parts. They're still concrete, which in the future we'll have to apply for that, but we applied just to fix the really bad asphalt part at this point.
So who's paying for this?
It's a grant through the state of Ohio.
Okay. That's great. I mean, I didn't see any numbers, so I just wanted to.
No, it's all
Make sure
through.
it's not me, yeah.
Nope, it's not you. It's a grant through the state of Ohio. We just want to actually do it, so we had to take it out to bid and do all the stuff, and then on the lease, we have to get your permission
Okay.
to change anything, but we're actually just maintaining it.
Okay, no, that's
But we want to let you guys know what we're doing too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve item number 10.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
it has been a little while since we came here, so I did bring an annual report copy for you guys, just because it's been a little while since we've been down here. So
Thank you.
if you ever need us for anything, we're a phone call away. But
I will say, so I did a little tour of our senior centers, and one of the biggest complaints we got was transporting the seniors. So, you know, a lot of them can't drive, and so that was something. And I get it. We're a rural county. It's just different to do public transportation, but
It is, it's limited, and we're trying, and part of the partnership with us is trying to grow and increase the funds that we can get through the state, which
Right.
is so that we can keep continuing to increase the buses and the people we
Yeah.
have out there, because it's just our limit. It's how many buses and people we have out there.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a
Thanks.
great day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Gina Hofstadter, Community and Economic Development. So I have item number 11. The Department of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board discuss and approve additional projects under the CDBG grant BF-23-1-AZ-1 for the Maple Leaf Community Residence and Chagrin Falls Park Community Center to utilize remaining project funds as they are allowable under the application for building rehabilitation. This includes for Maple Leaf Community Residence, the installation of replacement flooring in one home for better ADA accessibility, and for Chagrin Falls Park Community Center to put new siding on the community center and a new roof on the pavilion. Any additional costs remaining from the CDBG funds will be covered by the applicant. So basically this is PY23, so we had money left over from the projects, the original roof project, and again, roof and windows for Maple Leaf. So we were able to, because it sort of fell in the same scope, instead of leaving money on the table with the state, we were able to allocate that to some additional projects within both of those agencies. So I'm sorry for the last minute, because I didn't realize I needed permission to do that, because the state allows that. So that's why I'm asking for you to agree to that. And then the next one will be, we have an agreement ready to go with Burton Carpet, so.
So I assume I know the answer to this, but like this year when we approved the projects, we had the 2 projects and then 2 backup projects.
Correct.
And that's not how it was done in the past with us?
Yes, the backup projects would be if the state would actually not approve those
Okay.
said projects. So the goal again would be to utilize all those funds, and so we were able to do that and do some additional work within the
Great.
scope.
I'm glad things came in under budget and
Yes,
able to
absolutely.
expand the scope.
Yeah,
of
because when we
projects.
priced that one out, it was outrageous amounts of dollars for roofing, and I believe Commissioner Spitaleri didn't point that out. It was, so, yeah. So that's item 11.
I make a motion to approve item number 11.
Second.
Thank you. So then, in reference to that, item 12.
We got to vote.
Oh, go ahead,
I think
please.
we all-
By all means. Come on. Y'all know how much I love this.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I-
Thank you, Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
We're all out now.
Item number 12.
Sorry. The Department of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and execute the 3-party contract between the Board of Commissioners, Maple Leaf Community Residence, and Burton Carpet Shop Incorporated to remove and dispose of carpeting and prepare floor and install vinyl flooring in the family, dining, and living rooms and 2 bedrooms at the Maple Leaf Community Residence home on Wilson Mills Road, Chardon, with work to be completed by August 31st, 2025 in the amount of $9,705.03.
This seems like it'll be a good upgrade.
Yeah, for
Getting
sure.
the carpet out of the dining room and putting vinyl flooring in.
Especially folks with, wheelchairs and handicap
Absolutely.
issues.
Yeah, and hopefully that will last them for
They were thrilled.
longer than
So
carpet.
it's a lot of work to do these things, but we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't spend all that money. So
I make a motion.
kudos to
approve-
Elaine.
Yeah, item number 12.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, in the spirit of Gina Hofstadter, let's get going. Sorry it took so long to walk up here. Roger Peterson and Austin Rice with the Department of Emergency Services. Today's discussion is about kind of doing a little bit of cleanup. Back in the 80s, our agency was formed and we were called the Disaster Services Agency. In the 90s, the name got changed to the Department of Emergency Services. And with the new initiative about getting county signage, we're the only county in the state of Ohio that's not called the Emergency Management Agency, basically. So Austin put together a fantastic 4-page information with the history, with the dates, with the rationale, with everything that's on it. And today was just kind of a discussion because we've run into a lot of confusion, even from the public. We routinely get phone calls thinking that we're the emergency department at Geauga Hospital. So there's just a little bit of confusion, and we're looking at just trying to standardize the name to match up with the rest of the state. And basically, I'll let Austin give a little summary.
Oh yeah, that would be for industry standard language, basically. Inconsistent terms, historically, even in the journals when we were doing research, some type of a legal closure to the unclear historic actions taken in the county. Only county out of 88 that doesn't have emergency management in the title, and they're listed there in the paper. Confusing name internally. As he mentioned, we get calls for EMS, for emergency room, external communication as well, such as everyone knows what EMA or emergency management is. If we're working with other counties or statewide agencies, they don't know what DES is. So that causes some delay and confusion there. So it's just to bring this to industry standard language, clear up confusion.
We actually, a couple times a year, get phone calls that we tell the people to hang up and dial 911. They're calling because they need an ambulance. And we're like, why on earth are you calling? And we could transfer them, but then the 911 doesn't pick up their information.
Right.
So yeah, it's just clunky.
Yeah.
But your shirts already say emergency management.
Because that's true. Technically, we're the emergency management program of the county, but that's not in
that's not your name
in the title.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a point of confusion there.
And we might have kind of done this on our own in the last year or two. Maybe kind of.
Are those t-shirts, those shirts from other counties?
That's Geauga County, Mr.
This helps. So we do a lot of things with other counties, helping be controllers of their exercises, or when we're in settings with other agencies and counties, this helps them to identify us instantly instead of seeing something that confuses them and they ask questions. Yeah,
so
that's why we change that.
The question I was going to ask, but it seems like the answer is kind of the signage. So I was kind of asking who or what sort of initiated this change now, but it seems like the signage is...
Since the county's trying to redo all the signage, we thought this would be an appropriate time.
Okay.
And Commissioners, I can add to that question as well. So part of my initial sit down with Roger and Austin, this came up as a topic and then just sort of compounded itself with the work on the signage across the campus. So we felt like it was just kind of one of those things we wanted to front load in terms of the list of things that we had discussed during my initial few weeks on the job.
Okay.
Yeah, and as we did further research and going through the journals and such, it just got more confusing. All the different terms used and what was and wasn't done in the past. So this would just bring some closure to a lot of these.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think Christy had a great time helping out with the journals, and it's currently it's currently.
It got more confusing as we looked at it. It sounded like
and the whole concept is currently at the APA, and she has basically said that if we did it, it would be fine. She just wants a disclaimer on the website, paraphrasing. So.
Okay. The only other thing I was going to ask, in that long list of counties with their, whatever their department is named, Homeland Security is in some of them. And I just wonder, do they do like additional functions or like where does that come in?
They don't do any additional functions. That's kind of a rollover from that whole Homeland Security push, like post 9/11.
Yeah.
A lot of them updated
early aughts.
Popular terminology that just was carryover.
Yeah, everyone wanted to get sexy and put Homeland Security.
Yeah. It sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, Jack Bauer and all of that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so this was just kind of an introduce the idea, a little bit of discussion. If you had any questions, we could help answer it. And then once we get the official opinion and things are coordinated with Amy and coordinated with Christy, then hopefully then all of your questions will be answered. And if not, we could still address it. he can still address them when that time comes.
Yeah, this is not that dramatic change, like changing the Indians to the Guardians. So.
Yeah.
No, so that was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, yeah, I think it makes sense. It seems like a logical change.
Okay, thank you.
I think so. Right now, that's fine.
We need a motion.
No motion for what the official way to formally change the name is from the prosecutor's office.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Craig Swenson here on behalf of Job and Family Services. We're asking the commissioners to approve the certificate of need for renewal of our 0.7 mil levy. Again, like I said, it's a straight renewal. Our levies typically run back to back. In the spring we had our 0.5, and this is our 0.7. It's a qualified levy. It's older than our 0.5 levy. This one was actually replaced in 2010, but it's been around actually since I researched this since like the mid 1900s originally.
But it's still a qualified levy, even though it was a replacement in 2010. Okay.
2010, yep.
Okay.
The law changed after that, where yeah.
I gotcha.
And so I did provide you guys with some documentation just as where our PCSA fund stands.
What does that stand for, Craig?
Public Children's Services account.
Okay.
So that's where we receive all our receipts, whether it's from the state or from our levies. And as you can see, I mean, we have pretty significant expenses every single month, really ranging anywhere from a few $100,000 to up to $1 million just in a single month of expenses as it relates to running our operations in children's services. That accounts for the placement costs for children that are in our custody, for our operations. But as you can see, we take some pretty hefty swings month to month, just depending on the expenses of that month. And also, as you know, the upcoming costs that are going to be associated with the youth center, that project is still moving pretty steadily. We really are hoping, fingers crossed, to go out to bid this fall for construction. So, and I know Commissioner Dvorak has been a big part of that project. There's a lot of moving parts with these construction projects, and also just getting utilities across the road, which I've learned a whole lot about.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that, but it's been a phenomenal team approach to getting that project continue to move forward. So really hoping to get a shovel in the ground this fall.
Okay, so Craig, give me your elevator speech as far as if I'm a taxpayer, why should I vote yes on this levy?
All right. It is, first of all, the state of Ohio does not really fund children's services to the level that they really need to fit the needs of the community. We on average, and this actually is investigate, not actually just take calls, but we on average investigate anywhere from 400 to 700 children's services investigative cases in a given year. And we have about 35 staff. And this is what we need to execute those jobs, answer those calls, help fund the cars that we need to drive all around pretty much north, not just Ohio, but in states beyond. It's really significant. The county has been incredibly supportive of our needs. Back in 2015, we had to add an additional levy because of the opiate crisis, and we've been very transparent and solid stewards of these dollars, and I believe the community trusts that.
So it looks like you have like $8.68 million in this account right now.
Yes, ma'am.
So I mean, talk about why you still need more, right? I mean,
this is to keep it steady.
But yeah.
Yeah, this is after the expenses of the youth center. We should be bottoming out about $2 to $2.5 million, which will be where we'll stand. And when you have about a $2 million cash surplus in a fund that can swing $1 million in a given month, that for me is pretty, makes me nervous a little bit when it comes to that. And that will be, as you can see during COVID, that's where a lot of calls were not coming through. There were not a lot of laid eyes on children, and that fund rose, and then that's where that idea came about is let's utilize these funds to put towards the new youth center, which we need, which I think will actually be a cost savings inevitably to the county and be able to provide better services because our kids will be served in their backyard instead of having to be placed in placements far outside of the county and sometimes beyond the state. We'll be able to keep these kids home.
Okay.
Any other questions? Commissioner DeVore, Commissioner Spitaleri?
This is just step one.
Yes.
The two-step process. So there's technically three. So this is the first step. I request the estimated resources to come from the auditor's office, and then once those are received, then the next step is the resolution to actually place it on the ballot.
Okay, so
Yeah,
will that come next week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, I called and it should be. They know that we need it to come next week.
Understood. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve item number 14.
Second?
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Hey.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeVore.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Take item 15, the Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board move into executive session for the purpose of discussing the compensation of public employees.
Make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeVore.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to be back at 10:26.
Item number 16.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board accept the resignation of Alberta Chomsky from the Geauga County Board of Mental Health and Recovery Services Board effective June 30th, 2025.
I move to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeVore.
Yes.
Item 17, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 25-153 to schedule and hold a special meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for a ribbon cutting ceremony for the Geauga County Fairgrounds Poultry and Sale Barns on Sunday, August 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m.
I move to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeVore.
Yes.
Item 18, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board cancel session on Tuesday, August 26, 2025.
I move to approve.
How come?
Oh, why are we canceling Tuesday? Because we have Thursday at the fair.
Okay.
So instead of having two meetings that
Alright,
week,
fair enough.
plus as well, Commissioner Reiki and Ms. Bevan will both be attending the CCAO summer conference, and they will not be back until later
Okay.
that day.
Second?
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Reiki.
Aye.
Commissioner DeVore.
Yes.
Item 19, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 25-154, establishing the location and time of the August 28th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners to be held at 10 a.m. on the Great Geauga County Fair at the Junior Fair 4-H stage.
I move to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Reiki.
Aye.
Commissioner DeVore.
Yes.
Item number 20, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the request for partial payment number 22 for Infinity Construction Company Incorporated for the Geauga County Courthouse Expansion GMP Phase 1 and 2 expenses in the amount of $950,590.72.
And this was reviewed by NV5, I assume?
I cannot confirm. Oh, Adrian's not here. I can find out for you.
Yeah, I think I want to know that before I vote on this. I mean, it looks like, so the total contract cost, we're at $20,158,961. Our change orders are roughly $473,000, which is a big number. I mean, I guess not a big percentage of the total cost of the courthouse. I mean, it's like a little over 2%. But it's almost $500,000. So are we looking at any additional change orders that we're aware of? Is there a way we can keep these?
I'm actually meeting with the courthouse today at 1 o'clock, so I can answer that for you next session.
Okay. So then I'm gonna move to table this until next week.
Okay?
Second.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Rea.
Okay.
Commissioner Ware.
Yes.
I don't think that the new change order that you just approved is included in this dollar amount.
Oh,
It's listed on here.
that's
so
fair.
That would be included in there, but there is also the retention as well that's listed on here,
Okay. Right,
which
right,
is 10%.
right. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Item 21, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the final design for the courthouse dedication plaque. We sent you in the read-ahead packet 3 different options that have been worked up, and so we'll open it for discussion.
I'll make a motion to go with the second option.
What is the second option?
I think that's,
Page 3.
Oh, okay, at the bottom of it, it says page 3.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's the 3 of you without the construction companies. Is that correct?
That's correct.
No, it doesn't include Tim Lennon though, correct?
Correct.
You know, I think I brought this up the last meeting. He was the current commissioner at the time that spent an enormous amount of time, and I truly believe that if he would not have been engaged in the amount of efforts that he had, that this project would have never even taken off. And if it's a situation that, you know, I heard the comment that one of the commissioners supposedly had said that, you know, we would confuse people with 3 names, then take my name off and put Commissioner Lennon's on, because he deserves to be on that if we do this.
So Commissioner, could you talk specifically about his contribution to the courthouse? Because
Absolutely.
maybe there's a creative way.
He was totally engaged
Can you
with-
let me finish before you talk? Because I was just gonna say, maybe there's a creative way that we can honor those contributions to the courthouse.
Yeah, I think that he was basically the point of the spear negotiating the settlement when Chardon filed that lawsuit against us. He was able to come up with an amicable ending to avoid a whole lot of legal costs to the county to fight this. He had been engaged from the beginning with the building plans, took the time to report back to us multiple times, and worked with Jerry hand in hand throughout that whole process to be able to create the room sizing, all of that. I mean, he was pretty much the person that was engaged as the representative for the commissioners, as a commissioner, the entire time. And I truly believe that if he would not have put the efforts that he put forward in this, that project would not have even began today.
a lot of us put time in that process, and the prosecutor represented us, went back and forth with City Chardon and all the things. I mean, we were in the courthouse sidebar for at least 4 or 5 hours that one day. And, yeah, a lot of time was put in by a lot of different people. So,
I guess my question is what is the reason that Commissioner Lennon should not be included in this when this project truly started under his, you know, his tenure as commissioner? And I mean, ceremonially, I understand.
Well, so, I mean, I'll make the argument. So, I mean, we're all just turtles on a fence post, right? We didn't get here by ourselves. And if you look in the plaque in the lobby for this building, there's just 3 commissioners on it, even though other commissioners made the decision to purchase this land, were instrumental in the process. So to me, it's like, you know, it's kind of just the way things go. It's you're here, you get your name on the plaque, you're not here, you don't. But that doesn't mean that those contributions aren't important, and there aren't perhaps other ways to honor those people that came before us.
well, my opinion is I like option number 2 with the 3 current commissioners, the architect, construction company, and
That's option 1.
That's
Commissioner
option 1.
DeWart. Yeah,
2 there.
that's page 2.
Page
the way
two.
it was presented to us, this was the first option. The second option is just the one that has the commissioners' names on it.
Well, page 2, that's the one I like, and we might not be able to
That
settle on
sounds like
anything
we all have a different opinion on which one to go forward.
How much is this gonna cost?
I don't have that figure.
You know, I mean, we're talking about, you know, saving money and being responsible to taxpayers, you know. I don't think that it's even necessary. This was a project that we did to improve county services. And if we're spending money on this, then I would not support it anyways. I don't think that this is fair to Commissioner Lennon, knowing how much he did. And I would say if it's a situation of the 3 names, then take my name off and put Commissioner Lennon's on there. If it's a situation that this is costing any money above and beyond, it's not reasonable, then I'm just really not about the flash of having my name on a building.
I will get that information. We'll continue this discussion.
Okay. Great.
So do you want to table this until further?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Table.
Item 22, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board concur with the Burton Township trustees in withdrawing the request for a hearing on the liquor license requested by 15015 Enterprises LLC located at 15015 Kinsman Road, Middlefield, Ohio, C new 6549500.
I mean, this makes sense to me. I didn't quite understand the reasoning for requesting the hearing to begin with, so I'll make a motion to approve item number 22.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
All right.
Commissioner Wall.
Yes.
Item 23, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board move into executive session for the purposes of discussing the employment and compensation of public employees pursuant to ORC 121.22G1.
I move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Wall.
Yes.
And Glenn will be joining us.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
We are back.
May I be returning at 11:09? No action?
Okay, item number 24 is board discussion on the fair. I understand that Christie has a deadline of this Friday to get paperwork out. So we wanted to have a generalized discussion about the occupancy of Merchant Hall 2 as well as the Bell Building. I'm new coming into this, so I know Christie has some history on what we've done in the past and just trying to help us get organized so that Christie can get the necessary paperwork out that she needs to have done by Friday. So, Christie, could you maybe just talk a little bit about what we've done in the past and what we need to get done by Friday? I think that'd be helpful to know.
So, typically by now I've already sent a letter out to the elected officials and the department directors regarding the Bell Building and, you know, getting information and whatever giveaways or whatever that they want to have in the building. And so that they're prepared ahead of time to get them back to us by a certain time so that we can take them out to the fair and get them within the building and get it all set up, ready to go before the first day of the fair. This year, we're adding the Merchant Hall 2 building to the mix. And so I've been kind of like in a hold pattern waiting to get direction as to who is going where so that I know what I can send out and plan ahead to be prepared to set up in the building. So.
Okay. And really, this Merchant Hall 2 is new because we've never done it before. But what brought this to light is America 250 Geauga Committee. And the secretary of the fair board, Meg, offered 2-3 months ago for Merchant 2 for America 250 or any other organization or elected official has anything to do with 250. And that was the growth, see this thing grow. And really this could be an experimental Merchant Hall 2 for this year and next year to see how it goes. And so far, the commissioners could have a table and destination Geauga. Would you be interested in being in Merchant Hall too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're comfortable with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as I know when it opens and when it closes.
No problem. Yeah, because then it would open up some area on table use at the bell tower building. So that was my thought process with that. But with Merchant Hall too, the prosecutor showed interest in it, the engineer's office, the recorder's office, and the clerk of courts. So I think maybe an email should go out to the elected officials, just say yes or no. And yesterday, Gina and I went and checked out Merchant Hall 2. There's like 28 spaces. The spaces are 8 foot deep and 12 foot wide with electric power. And every staging area is marked up in the ceiling, 1 through 28. So maybe this first year we could have 8 tables in there, maybe 10, and to build up for the America 250, which is next year on July 4th, for the celebration of this great country for 250 years. So that's what's going on. And then figured Amy and Chrissy and Gina could be the committee and see this thing through and really give the Fair Board 99.9% direction on who's going to be in there.
Okay. We will have to, I will reach out to Meg, because we will probably have to redo this agreement when we redo the agreements that have to be done for Merchant Hall 2.
Okay.
Because my understanding is that they need a concession agreement from everyone that's going to be in there as well. If Destination Geauga is moving out of the bell tower and going into Merchant Hall 2, we need to redo this because it's specifically included in that.
Sure. And just some paperwork. And since you brought up Meg, Meg Noah, Secretary of the Fair Board, she's been to like 4 or 5 different fairs, and so the last month she's been taking pictures of Summit County and Lake County, and she showed us that we had a short meeting yesterday of the tables and things that Lake County has, the auditor, the coroner, and they have their brochures out, and so does Summit County. They have the prosecutor, their auditor. So it's not like we're inventing anything. Other counties are already doing this. So, and the Merchant Hall 2 building was used strategically for the bicentennial, the 200th year of the fair, and that whole building was taking part of that, and had all the memorabilia in there from the fair 1 through 200 years, and so I think it's going to be a good thing, and it's experimental for the next 2 years, and so.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I would add is I don't know if we want the commissioners to have a table in the bell tower and then also in Merchant Hall 2, because we're going to have to staff those and man those and refill those and so forth. So I would think it would just make sense to be in one location for people to find us.
Well, the bell tower building is a small space, and I don't think we've ever stood there. We've had a table or half a table with our brochures stating all the departments that are under our hiring authority, and our pictures are on the wall. And if we wanted the bell tower a little bit, and then have a sign, we want information for the America 250, go to Merchant Hall 2, and that could be explained at the bell tower 2 building. Not everybody goes through the bell tower building, but a lot of people do. So it's just showing, being a county commissioner, we're here for the residents, show them all the services that we have to provide. And if the engineer's there or the prosecutor or whatever is in Merchant Hall 2, they can, it doesn't matter if you're from the Green Party, Libertarian, any other party you're from, you're more comfortable with asking about crossover pipe in your driveway, how do I get a permit for that, and things like that. So that's my vision for having Merchant Hall 2. And a short, a half a table or a third of a table for whoever wants to be in there, and they can go back and forth.
So Amy, what sort of direction do you need from the commissioners today?
Do we have to get down to the specifics of who exactly is going to be in the bell tower versus, I know we're trying to fill Merchant Hall 2, it's more of a service-oriented location, whereas the bell tower building is more executive, right? It's a commissioner, it's other elected officials. So we're looking for kind of an agreement on that's the generalized theme. And then I can work with Gina and Christy to offer the opportunity to go into Merchant Hall 2 if they fill out a concessions agreement. They understand the rules of the fair, per the booklet, in an attempt to continue to fill up Merchant Hall 2, making sure that we're abiding by the rules and regulations. So I think, Christy, is there anything specific that we would need for the paperwork that you have to complete that we don't already have?
I think the biggest thing is they need a list of who is going to be in Merchant Hall 2 by Friday so that they can get these concessions agreements out. So once we know who is going in Merchant Hall 2 versus who is going into the Bell Building, then we can determine, then we can figure out space and whatnot in the Bell Building.
Okay. And Gina definitely has that running list for Merchant Hall 2. She's taken the lead on that. We'll continue to help her. So
I mean, I don't think we need to micromanage this. I trust Gina and your team to handle this. The only thing I would just add is I did offer it to Family First, so make sure you put them on your list that they could be in Merchant Hall 2 since I'm on that board.
And then my question is that do you want the focus in the Bell Building just to be on the county elected officials this year and not more or less like agency type things?
I think
it's changed a lot over the years, so I'm just trying to get a direction.
Oh, it's changed a lot in the last 6 or 8 months. I think, because when Meg announced 2-3 months ago at the America 250 monthly meeting that if somebody wants a table at Merchant Hall 2 building, you guys can have it. So I've been getting requests from my Rotary Club, Burton Middlefield Rotary, and I says, well, do you realize, you have to staff this 5 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So the bad cop, and I just says, well, you could contact all four clubs of Rotary in Geauga County and have one table and then share your time spent behind the table. And then Meg also said, she mentioned historical societies. An historical society wants a table. Here's the thing, you have to man it. And so that would be the drawback for some people. It's like, well, I can do Thursday and Friday, but I can't do the rest. So, and what's nice about the Merchant Hall 2 building, if nobody's in there at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, we have the key to shut it down. Especially if it's raining, nobody's walking through, checking things out. So, again, the next 2 years is experimental. A lot of it's based on America 250 Geauga. So.
Okay, I think that's a good discussion. I think we have enough to go forward with what we need to do to continue to organize it by Friday.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all we have for board discussion.
Okay. All right. Public comment.
Howard, South Russell Village. We finished Liberty Camp this past Friday for youngsters, campers, 2 through 7th grade. We had 70 members plus the counselors, plus the different people that were the presenters. They all received the Patriots, excuse me, I'll get it here in a minute, Patriots Code of Virtue, there's different signs on it. They learned about the American three-headed eagle. They sang Proud to be an American the entire time they were there with their parents came on Friday, enjoyed them, and they learned a lot about America from the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution to the Bill of Rights. We've done it now for 11 years, 5 years in Lake County, and hopefully it'll be done again for many years in the future. I must say that the Lake County, or the Geauga County camp system at Chickagami was first class. They take wonderful care of it, and I'm looking forward to hopefully being part of it next year. And I invite everybody